because last year I had over 15,000 students in my course, and I had and those students were all over the world, 150 countries, and then.
Hey, it's Kellen, and today on Diversified Game, you guys get a pen and paper because my guest today, Glory Tshokama, he can do it all. I met this young man, and I'm young myself, so I'm not trying to pull the age thing. I met him at a Everett Community College thing that I like to do every year. Due to COVID, it was canceled this year, but every year while in Seattle, Washington area, and I actually got to share the room with him one year, and we've just kept in contact. And he teaches courses online. He's also an author. He has a nice book called My Heart of Love, Poems of Explorations in Love. Excuse me, but I might have to get a drink. But Glory, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm very well. I'm doing very okay. I'm glad to see that things are changing a little bit. The quarantine is hopefully heading toward the end, so I'm doing well. How about you? How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Tell the people, because you're a jack of many trades. So tell the people about yourself from the tech background, the photography, the writing of the books. Who is Glory?
I'll say Glory is a very ambitious person who really take on challenges. Um, I am. I would say I am a very interesting person. I like to call myself a artist at the same time a business person. I was born in the Congo. That's a little bit about my background. I grew up there, studied in a French-speaking country, and then 7 years ago I came in the U.S. I've been in the U.S. for a while. I went to college here as well. I studied arts and science here, and I work for different company as well. I work for a lawyer. I work for Microsoft. I also work for myself, which really enabled me to really understand a lot of things. That's why I'm able to really work in different industry and do a lot more.
And with that, I mean, with you having so many things, he also skydives people. I mean, he really is a adventurous person. Coming from the Congo, which many people all they know about the Congo is civil unrest. They don't understand the beauty. They've never even, YouTubed a video to show the beauty of Congo, but the media here shows, the negative first. What made you come here, and how did you excel? Because there's many people who, after high school here and even college here, they struggle to get a job at a law firm and are at Microsoft. So how did you excel, and what made you, want to come to the States to pursue these things?
Yeah, I think for me, as when I was a kid, I remember I was 14 years old. I had that a moment. It was kind of a dream, and I told my mom and my dad that one day I'll live in the U.S. For me, the U.S. represented a place where you can grow your idea. You can really do a lot more things. There is so much happening, and I think that was the first things that sparked my interest in the U.S. And once I arrived here, I really needed to be grounded and know that I'm here to learn and I'm here to grow. I think coming from a mindset of wanting to learn and wanting to grow really enabled me early on to set me on the path of success. I remember going to a lot of workshop of different people, different authors. Some people were millionaires, some people were coaches. So I really follow a lot of leadership as well early on, and that really enabled me to see the world in a way that I wouldn't see it by myself that way. So different people's perspective really enabled me to be able to think, yeah, I can do a lot more than I'm thinking, and I think that really helped me as well. Going to school here and constantly looking to better myself, I think that really helped me early on to set me on the path of success.
And explain even deeper, a lot of Africans will come to the U.S. And when you ever take a class with an African, I'm going to go as far as to say 9 out of 10 times, especially your first 2 years, the African student is so far advanced. It's like the stuff we're doing now, you guys did, in middle school, and you really excel. And you think, like, with all this brain power, why can't the continent keep it there? Like, what is it about the Congo and the way things go? Or what is it about America that allow you to just express yourself freely? Because is it just, people say, oh, it's the opportunity. And there is opportunity in the Congo, but is it just more difficult? Do you have to know somebody? Is it like a caste system where you feel like, if I don't do it the way they want me to do it, there's no other way it can be done? Like, what makes America allow you to just kind of explore and succeed?
Yeah, I think the first things that America does well is marketing. America markets itself very well across the world. I would say that. I remember growing up, most of the movie that I was watching was either American movie, and that literally early on already kind of set a curiosity where I'm like, what, one day I want to be in that place. And I think the other thing that that America does well is also promoting its culture, promoting what it does, its tech. America is really good at doing that as a country, as a people, as industry as well. And I think with the Congo is a young democracy, right? It's a country that had its independence in 1960, and then it's growing through that struggle, and as well as there is opportunity to build. But I really wanted to get a blueprint from the people who've been doing it for 400 years and kind of have an idea of how America built itself. I think for me it was mainly of having an idea about how it's done in America, and then from there I could be like, okay, I see what we're doing. We're here. I want to contribute this from what I've learned in this part of the world. I think that the Congo, there is a lot of opportunity. In the US, there is a lot of opportunity. The difference between them, I would say, in America, we have access to finance. You can finance idea very quickly than in the Congo. And I think that in terms of opportunity could make a difference.
Okay, so America's where you come get your bag, folks, and get that investment capital, which more and more folks on the continent are getting venture capital from all over the world. Do you see yourself building anything in the Congo in the near future?
In the near future, I would say 5 years from now, yes. I have a couple plans, which I'm gonna keep it on the dark for now.
Okay.
Definitely. The part I really want to be able to impact there will be mainly company, bringing in my expertise in terms of marketing as well, and learning, because we do a lot of good things there. I think the hardest thing is being able to market oneself as a country, what we have, and really understanding about how to create wealth and create businesses. I think that is one of the things that I believe that I can bring back in the Congo, and I am thinking about that as well. And yes.
Okay, I'm not just thinking, but planning and current investing in things on the continent, especially the way things are going here. If it's not, a pandemic, corona, it's the injustice that happens, and it's just something that I don't have to feel on the continent, or I haven't felt. You don't have to, worry and about, certain things, and just the injustice that happens, talking about the George Floyd situation, that, yes, and all the other situations of, injustice. So I'm definitely planning and have Africa plans for African Americans, especially, who, they say we want to see what Africa is like,
Mm-hmm.
but to see it in a way that you're not a missionary because you're not there to save
Exactly.
Africa, and you're not military. You're not there to tell Africa. So talk about your marketing, expertise. Was it school or was it just doing? Because you teach this now, and he has a YouTube. The links will be in the description box. But you teach this even just online. But talk about, how did you get started in marketing?
For me, it started. I was going to school. I was one of the students where I was getting a lot of straight A, and I was kind of tired of it. I was like, you know what? I really want something that can challenge me. I really want to take things that can challenge me, and I did that with my curriculum as well. Taking other courses, and also I challenged myself to learn online as well. At that time, I wanted to learn marketing. I was like, you know what? I really want to know how does this online marketing works, and that was in 2016 when I started. I wanted to learn. I started watching YouTube video. I started buying courses. That's how I started it, and understanding how Google works, Facebook works, and understanding how to run ads on those, and also understanding. I went to one of the workshop. I think that workshop really opened my eye. It was a workshop done by one of this Amazon seller, was making $30 million a year. I went in his workshop to learn about how to market products on Amazon, and then one of the things the guy shared with me there, I was at the time was like blown away. I was like, wow, is this possible? Can people really do this? And and that really helped me take marketing serious. Being able to be like, yo, you can be at home, but you can run a business from home. I think that idea started there, and that's how I started building my marketing skills, attending workshop and doing it as well. And the other thing that helped me as well was when I was in school. Me and one of my friends, we started a company called ProCyber, and we were doing marketing for people, including video and online marketing. And doing it, I would say, is the best way. Is how you really learn than just getting tutorials, because you get all this information that stay in the mind. But once you start executing it, you build up an expertise, and for me, it really started there. And then after that, I had the opportunity to work for Microsoft as well on the advertising part of Microsoft. And that really helped me put all those knowledge and those experience in the back ends, because it's before I used to do what I was, what I learned, but in the back end, I can like see what other people were doing as well, and being like, you know what, this is how these people are doing it, and being able to also advise people on strategy, talking with different business owner and industry leader, giving them idea in terms of their advertising. That really took me to the next level in terms of understanding marketing, and that's where I realized that I gotta start teaching these things, because sometimes I'll have people come over at home and ask me to do the marketing. I'll be like, man, I'm busy, but you know what? I can help you as a client. And and for me, the teaching is more of a giving back. The reason why I know what I know is because some people put that energy in me, that knowledge in me, and I want to do the same for other people as well who want to learn it.
Wow. And having a consulting and a public relations firm, a lot of people who don't understand public relations, marketing, advertising, a lot of times my fellow publicists, clients will get frustrated with them because they'll say, hey, I got, a 12 placements for a client in whatever the amount of time, a month, a week, whatever it is. And the client's frustrated because their revenue hasn't gone up. Where the PR is just, it's the reputation of the company, and you can be on this and this and this magazine and this TV show, but the marketing focuses on the revenue more on the revenue, and they do kind of intersect. But this is why I tell clients all the time, marketing, public relations, and advertising is expensive. And
Exactly.
and I see that, and I don't know if this frustrates you, but it frustrates me so much that everybody now is a marketer with no official training. Then they put a black eye on the game because they're telling people, oh, I'm a marketer, I'm a this, I'm that, whatever, the client wants just to get that amount of money. So when you hit a client with, hey, it's going to cost you $5,000 a month to do this the right way, to start. That's a starting price. And they say, wait, so-and-so was willing to do it for 500, and that's why you're not with so-and-so right now. But does that frustrate you, what's happening? Because I think it's always been here. We just, we're in our groove now, so we're seeing it more and more with technology. Everybody's marketing, everybody's, the it person.
Yeah, I think I had that experience as well. I think it was it was on 2000. It was 2017. I remember when we were running that company with my colleague. The hard things was that sometimes we meet clients, right? We share with them what we can do for them, and people will be like, "Oh my God, this is expensive," so and so can do it at X price, and one of the things that really helped me early on was to let them know, look, what we do is based on results. At the end of the day, this is what I'm going to deliver to you. And if you don't get this, I'll give you your money back. And most people, have not yet experienced people who are able to tell them what the result will be. People want to market, but getting the result, I think it is the hardest part of marketing. Be able to be like, okay, this is how much we spend, this is how much we got. I think that is the hard talk there. And yes, I have experienced people who really can go there, or like, what, this costs a little bit much. And I think also I love that, every time people would say that, being able to be like, what, this is the cost to get you this result. I don't know if you want it, but most people, if you show them the results that you had in the past, they're able to be like, yeah, you know what, I'm willing to go for it. And I think it's all about having a skill and being able to present to people a good solution. Because at the end of the day, marketing is all about helping a business grow. And if you are able to be that person and bring that growth, I think the cost can be reasonable.
And that's really the main difference between PR and marketing, because PR is not going to give you your money back. You and Billie Jean, who does Damon John's, stuff online. Damon John talked about, how Billie Jean, who, is a brother man, just like us. And he would tell companies, I think it was Orange Fitness or whatnot, how, if this doesn't work, I'm going to give you your money back. PR can't do that because we've already pitched it to 100. 30 have said yes. The time that it takes with the callbacks, they may like you. They may like you in 3 months, 6 months. And that's why we say give us a 3 to 6 month plan so we can put something together at that proper price and do what we need to do. But those are the differences. And I want this to be a teachable moment, because where Glory says, hey, I'll do this, are your money back because of the difference that you're doing. He's using different, methods and skills than what a publicist says. So
exactly. Yes, that is true. And I think being able to, in my experience, I've had no one, ask me their money back at the end of the day, because one of the things I learned early on was that if you really, especially in marketing, the marketing side is a very tricky area, because most people would take the budget, the revenue to really put it into marketing, and they expect to grow that revenue as well. It's more of like, I'm giving you $1, can you turn it into 10, right? It's more of that, and we're like doing the magic, putting everything together, and for me, early on, what I found out was being able to tell somebody, you know what, the dollar that you're giving me, I'm not gonna lose it. I'm not gonna lose it no matter what. And I think that really helped me separate myself from other people who were doing marketing early on, and I learned it from somebody, actually. I learned it from somebody, and yes, it was a very good lesson for me. But yes, it's a very interesting thing to see in the market, because right now, especially in marketing, having a good relation with your client is very important. Making sure that the client trusts you to do the work and deliver, and because the cost of marketing can literally skyrocket if you don't have a good team who know what they're doing. People could just spend money, and then at the end there is no revenue. And also, one of the things that I would like people to be able to differentiate is marketing and PR. PR is a different thing. Marketing is a different thing. And yes, the model is different. And PR is very important, very important. Every big company out there hire PR to do the work as well. Yeah, it's very important. Mm-hmm.
And with that, I can already hear somebody hearing this, watching this, and saying, "Hey, it's money back guarantee." What before they, send you an email? What is a healthy marketing budget for that person who's working at a job, looking to, create something, and they need to put it out there? What's a healthy budget before they, tell you, "Hey, I have $100. What can you do? Money back guarantee."
I think it really depends on what you are selling, or what you have as a product or a service, and what is your goal. And I think the main thing about marketing is we all look at metrics, right? Where are you and where do you want to go, and from that's when I'll be able to develop a formula to figure out how much you can spend. But usually what I advise people is, 10% of the business. That's a good number. 10 to 25% of the business, that's a good number. And that's a good place to start. But I like to have a one-on-one meeting with people and really see where they want to go and what they're able to spend, what they have as a budget, to go from there. And it really depends on the goal of the person, but that's the sweet spot, I would say.
Glory gave a very political answer, but I'm going to keep pushing. Doing this for almost 2 decades now, it frustrated me when you would ask a client their budget and they haven't set it aside. And now, if you don't have your budget and a number in mind, we won't even, I can't even talk to you. Like, you can't even get to me. So if a client says, "Hey, Glory, I have $1,000 budget a month," are you, and I know every project can be different because you're fighting for space, but is that a place where they need to start? Because to me, if they come to you and say, "Hey, I have $300, you need to tell them, save that, come back to me, when you have, because it's not like you're eating all that money. You're putting it, into things, whether it be social media, ads, online. So what do they need to have to spend? What's a good number just to start with? Because a lot of people think, "Oh, I'm just going to spend on Facebook ads and I'll do it myself." But they don't even know how the interface works on any of these platforms. And then some people try to go strictly to Fiverr and just, have someone do it they've never met, where you have someone like Glory right here who has put his education, He's put his extra time in, his over 10,000 hours. And so, what do you, for someone who's just listening, who numbers, they need to know whether they're even in the ball game. What is a number to start with?
That's a very good question. What I would say, especially there is two ways I see it. If you want to do it by yourself, or if you want to hire an expert, and for me, if you want to hire me as an expert in your team, I would always start with what's your budget. That's like my first question, because I want to know, how I can help you, and if I can help you as well. It's one of the things that helped me qualify clients for me. But to answer your question, what is a good number? I would say that it really depends on businesses. It really depends. It's really hard to just give a number. But if for someone who want to do it by themselves, they want to kind of try. They're trying to do. They want to run ads. They're trying to figure out what is a good number. I would say 10% is a good place to start of the overall project. Putting 10% aside, it's a good number. Let's say, for example, if you have let's say you want to make 10,000 out of selling, let's say, shirts, right? And you're trying to sell shirts. There is a lot of things that you need to really know about the business of selling shirts. What kind of shirt is it? Who are your audience? And who are you trying to sell it to? Really knowing your customer is the first thing. And once you know your customer and you figure out how much you want to sell per shirt. Let's say, for example, I am buying a shirt at $2 and I'm selling it at $10. And let's say I'm like, okay, for each shirt I want to spend $2 to get someone to buy a shirt at $10. So I'm spending around $2 for $10 shirts, and that takes about $4. That's like my cost, and the profit is $6. And I think that is just a way you could think about it once you are looking for a number to spend. I think that's a good place to being able to have that difference in terms of revenue and expenses and marketing costs as well from the product. And then you can develop, okay, I have 10,000 of them, so I'm going to spend $2,000 in marketing. And that's how you arrive to that number, by being able to look at the revenue, to look at the different things about the business. Then you're able to be like, okay, this is the number I'm willing to spend. And I think yeah, that's how I would think about it.
Okay, no, that's a very professional answer. Do you find that many people who are coming looking for marketing, if they're getting started, that are most entrepreneurs, I'm saying, they kind of, in the beginning, use whatever profit they have and they look at it as their own piggy bank. And it's the money to buy their car, it's the money to buy their clothes, where a true seasoned entrepreneur has a salary for themselves. Of course, sometimes you'll have to take disbursements, but, the many entrepreneurs, I'm talking about folks who are like in their 20s, and some are older. I don't want to throw everyone out in their 20s, out there like that, but it's knowing your numbers, like the Shark Tank always says, like knowing your numbers. Do you find that most entrepreneurs, especially young ones, know their numbers when they come to you?
I think I think most people who come to me, some know their numbers, some don't. Some don't. And being able, I found that being able to be there to support them, whether they know their number or not, being able to tell them, look, this is important. You got to know this. If you don't, let me help you. But I like those who knows their number, because it makes things much easier. And they understand things better. And yes, that's what I would say.
And see, that's an extra charge if you have to help them know their numbers. That's a different consulting fee. in my opinion. You might be nice, Glory, but now I have to sort out your numbers and tell you how much you should be paying me, how much you should be, doing with this money, with that money, if you're even making money.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other thing. With the YouTube sensations out there, it seems like anybody, as long as you keep pushing and trying, you might one day be at whoever you want to think about, Tony Robbins, whoever you want to think about, the Les Browns, anybody can be a sensation. For, God willing, this podcast to get picked up by Spotify too, like Joe Rogan's, and I'll take, 100, 200 million. But you just don't know. And that's the beauty of the age we're in. In marketing, how do you think AI is it going to be impacted?
Oh, big time. Big time. AI is very, very important. And most people and most businesses and company are already integrating AI on their platform to be able to enable people to do things much more quicker and faster, have the information, the insight. I think AI is very important. I actually partner with one of these companies, which I am building a course for. So what they're doing is they included AI in the video marketing platform. So you don't need to know how to edit all the complicated things. All you need to do is like plug and play, put everything together and release it. It's actually very interesting what AI can do, and the course I'm putting together is going to be enabling people to be able to create video in under 10 minutes, and I'm going to release it this week. So that is just one example where you see a lot of people are including AI in their platform, whether it's advertising, whether it's videography, and even myself, I'm already automating my systems. I think it is very important to be able to use the technology that we have right now, because we don't need to repeat everything when you have a system that can just do it. I mean, yes.
And he didn't say the name, so you guys are going to have to see his course. I know recently I've sat and I spoke with Ampfire, and I was like, whoa, they're putting like 30 different campaigns together for $2,500. And I love AI. Reason I love going to conferences like CES and South by Southwest and everything that you can just see what the future is going to be, because I want to be on that. But I've even seen PR and marketing services in Canadian companies like, I think it's Vendesta, where you get to white label their AI software. So everybody thinks you're the genius, but it's really the AI that, they put together. I want my own, but I love what's happening. But I also tell people in our fields that you need to be able to pivot, because these computers are going to be a lot better than what we do. And I've even tried and spoke with gurus who I'm like, this is what PR should be, where PR, marketing, all that should be plug and play. You put in your sentences. I have some software that will write a book for me, no matter what. When my child was 7, she wrote her first book because of this software of just putting in certain things. And the AI says, boom, it's here. It's not going anywhere. You don't want to have the blockbuster effect, which that means something different now since they're no longer a blockbuster. That you want to be up on the game. So what do you do? I know you say you're making a course on it, but what do you do to try to stay ahead of technology? Because that can be a scary thing for many people.
Yes, I think to be on the edge, you constantly have to be a student. And that's how I see myself, being able to be curious all the time, learn, being able to, to learn and give back what you have learned. And that is a good process of learning as well. That way you are able to master technology really quickly. You're able to give it back. You're able to learn, and being constantly in the learn mode and the doing mode. both of those really are helpful. And for me, it's been mainly learning and doing at the same time, being able to learn how to do it and do it and teach it, share it, and repeat the process. And I think, yeah, technology can be a very scary thing for most people. Once you know one thing, and then the next things you know, another thing just appear, and for some people could be uncomfortable. I don't know. They'll be like, I already know how to do it. Why do we have to change all of this? But a good rule of thumb is the thing that I'm about to learn really help me go faster, really help me automate my system. Is there a benefit to learning this? And I think if you're able to tell, or you're able, after analyzing, being able to say that, yes, this is going to help me, get better at this. You know what? I'm going to learn it. And I think that's a good rule of thumb. That way you don't want to put yourself into learning, and not doing and not practicing. So I think that's a rule of thumb I would pass on to the audience.
Okay. Now, with all this tech talk, you guys had heard me before say he wrote a book. I'm an author. We have a publishing company. I love books. You don't do books for money. You do books out of passion and purpose. And eventually, you get these royalty checks, and it's like, oh, wow. Okay. What inspired you to write this book of poems?
I would say what inspired me is really people and myself and my mom as well. I've started writing that book in 2018. It actually started with one day I went to the office. I met Steven, which is one of the guys I was working with at the time, and I asked him a very interesting question. I asked him, man, why do we say that we fall in love instead of saying, we rise in love? Why don't we rise in love, but we fall in love? And that was a very tricky question at 7 a.m. to ask somebody. and the fun things was after that, everybody around the office started, trying to answer this question in the morning. They're like, man, do you come up with very, very hard question? I don't know, and from there I was like, it got me thinking. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should write a book in love, my experience in it, and how I view the world, and how can I put those experiences into few words that people can understand. And that was when I started writing about love. And I realized that one of the things that's very important early on for all of us is, our mom, right? As a kid, we all have mothers, and it's very important to really understand the power of a motherly love as well. And that's why it's the number one poem on my book. And that's why I put it there purposefully, to really start things out. And I think that's why inspired me. Is the drive a drive and curiosity to understand a bit of love, because love can do a lot of things, and love is doing a lot of things around us as well.
Now, when I saw it, I said, okay, we're about to hear Glory's about to get married. He's writing his book of poems. He's going to dedicate it. We're going to see the whole festival, whatnot. And, what you guys see, Glory is a very nice, positive person. I know that when he's at the parties, this is the guy that, the old mothers and everybody saying, hey, introducing him to all the single women and saying, hey, this is Glory, this is Glory. And in the African culture, there's a lot of pressure on, find a woman and then have kids, whatnot, which I think it's a lot of unfair pressure, because that's not for everybody. Some people, you might be very peaceful now, but given, doing things too soon in a way that you don't want to do it could make you go mad, whatnot. Can you talk about, that, because most people won't ask you that question of trying to, make your way career-wise and being at a huge company and doing your business and really living your best life, and then writing a book of poems. of love, do you feel pressure, inside the culture to get married soon?
I think there is that pressure, there's that pressure where, people want you to get married. And I think marriage is a very important thing. People, should be able to reproduce and, grow. It's a very important thing. And the thing for me, it's knowing the when to get married. I think, I think you shouldn't get married because somebody asked you to. I think you gotta, be able to take your time, and once you feel that you're ready, you know that you're ready, and it's the best decision to take at that time. Yes, you can do that, and I believe that that yes, once that time arrives, I would do so. And yes, there is that pressure. Sometimes you hear friends, especially friends, will be like, "Oh man, when are you gonna get married?" You get those questions. But for me, it's being grounded on, what must I do right now before I get married? What are the things that I would like to achieve before then? And and yes, for me, it's been mainly that. Yes, there is that pressure sometimes. Yeah.
All right, and y'all out there listening to this, stop putting pressure on people, because many people aren't even happy in their own relationships and want to push, something that's not even natural on someone else. People, when you meet that person, you just know it. That's just my experience. It doesn't mean things are perfect. You just know it. You're like, okay, that person I can build with. She has something that will keep me in line, or it's just there. And I find that men don't, when you find that person, it's like, okay, you got it. Women, I guess they have a harder time, especially the more they progress and make money in life. It's harder. But I do some. I say I'm a date coach. I'm a semi-pro date coach, and I have 4 people that I've introduced, and they've got married, whatnot. And so I like that. That business, but it's something that it's really a gift more than anything. You can't rush anything, because people say, "Well, hook me up, hook me up." Well, are you open to pivot? And most people aren't open to pivot, And talking about pivoting, you even have a SoundCloud. And so can you talk about, like, is there anything you can't do? And is music, will you come out with an album? Will there be an album of poems of you either singing or saying, your poems online in English and in French, Glory? Because I'm like, this book should have been in French too.
Yes, I already turned the book in French. The French version will be on Amazon soon. I've been mainly focusing on getting the English audiobook out. I hired one voice-over artist, and she did a good job. The book should be there this week as well on Amazon. I've been working with them for the past 30 days. It seems like it takes 30 days for them to list an audiobook on Amazon. So that has been my focus. And after this, yes, I have the French version out as well. And for singing, I know that I'm not a singer. They say know thyself, know thyself. I know that I'm not a singer. I'm more of a speaker. I'm more of an artist, a business guy. I'm more of a people person rather than a singer. A singer is an amazing gift, but life hasn't given me that gift. It has only given me the gift of speaking and writing and thinking and yes, and doing. Yeah.
Okay, and who's not able to do music nowadays, where there's such a low bar, and it seems like anything. I mean, I've said things to my kids in jest, and they have been said it like at VBS, at Vacation Bible School, for those of you who don't know what that is. And I've seen them, and they weren't really appropriate things. They were just like things that you just say, like, okay. And what it was, I won't even say it to you, Glory, because Glory is he's in a different realm. Certain thing you won't say, but they weren't curse words at all. But I had they had the whole VBS doing a dance and singing this thing. And I've said this on other episodes, people, so you'll have to watch and binge watch, but I won't say it to Glory. And I'm like, kids will say anything and they'll repeat anything you say. And so, anybody could be a singer. You get in the studio and you bits and pieces, or like Marshmello, if you're familiar with the DJ Marshmello, you get someone else and then everyone thinks you're, the entertainer. But and I love that. I love it because you can do what you want. I like when people can express themselves, with maturity, however they want. But a lot of this doesn't have maturity. I want to ask you, it's a question I ask all my guests. It's one of my winding down questions. With all the success and everything that you have going on, what is your community give back?
Yes. Part of the thing that I am doing for the community is giving back my knowledge. I realized one of the thing that's very interesting that I learned early on. Sometimes we'll give money. Money goes a long way, but knowledge, being able to give people what can make a difference. It can really make a difference. I can't imagine how many times that that I got lucky because I knew something. Whether it is presenting something to a client or helping someone, it all come back to knowledge. What do you know that can help someone else? And that's why I started the course thing, because I can tell you it's not easy to really be able to articulate the knowledge that and pass it down to people in a way that they can understand as well. And for me, it's been that I started it, and I really took it really serious last year, because last year I had over 15,000 students in my course, and I had and those students were all over the world in 150 countries. And then I was like, you know what? This is interesting, and sometimes I would be there. I'm like, you know what? I'm just giving these 2 courses away for free because I really want people to learn what I know here. And also the thing that really moved me is people writing back, being like, oh man, you changed my life in this, man. This is amazing. And those are the things that really I woke up in the morning. I'm like, wow, I really want to do more of this, and yes, for me, it's really giving back what I know, being able to give people the knowledge that can better their life, that can better themselves, that can better their business. And part of it is also helping me in case that because I remember one of the things last year that was very challenging for myself was that some people would come to me and they'd be like, you know what? Oh, yeah, I see you doing this. Can you show me how to do this? And I'll be like, you know what? I'm really busy right now. I gotta get these things done. But I've been thinking, how about if I can duplicate those ability, those knowledge, and put it in a place where every time someone asks me, I'm like, here's the key. Just go open. Everything is there. Being able to do that. And for me, it's putting those content online and putting it into courses has been the best way, so that I'm able to give people, be like, okay, you can do this. Here it is. You want to do this? Here it is. This is how to do it. This is how to do it. And then I'm able to also focus at the same time, because one of the things that happen is especially with me is as I'm executing a lot of things. Sometimes people will catch me in the middle of something and they'll be like, okay, let's do this. And then we'll do, and then another person comes in, And the best way to really help the community, it's by giving back what I know, because that's what people are interested in. Interested about this part of me that they want to know. And I am very working hard to really have it as a course for all of you who are out there who really want to know. Yes, that's what I've been doing, giving the knowledge back.
And when they go to your course, which is on Udemy, it's he's talking about photography, which I didn't even tap into because I told you Glory can do so many things, but his love for photography. I remember walking into that classroom and I'm thinking, man, okay, if I'm going to share the room, I'm going to be, sharing my. Did I have a cameraman that day? I don't know.
Oh yeah, you brought a camera that day.
Okay, but I had a camera. Did I have a cameraman as well?
Yeah.
Did I? Okay, I had a videographer. Okay, I want to make sure I tell the story truthfully. I don't want to do it Trump and say I had the biggest and the boldest, but Glory had he had his cameras out and his outdid mine, people, and I thought I really had some material. And Glory also is a drone pilot. Anybody who sees my Instagram, I love drones, but he really loves photography. What's your first love, marketing or photography?
I would say photography has been the first because photography for me it's been a course that I learned in the college in my art, because I studied arts and science, and it was my go-to classes that I wanted to know, part of the arts that I wanted to know, because I was already good at drawing. I was good at 3D, and I really wanted to learn an art that I didn't know, that I never experienced before. And photography did it for me. I was like, you know what, I gotta take this class, and then I ended up taking over 5 classes of photography, and it's been amazing. That was the first things I really love. Until today, I still love photography because I have camera. Sometimes I'll go out. I think it really helps us captivate a moment of time and share it with people. It's a medium to tell story. For me, photography, it really helped me tell story that words cannot express. And yes.
Okay, and all those links, folks, will be there. You can see his love for photography and learn from it while, signing up for the classes. You'll see Glory website. He has private sessions. I mean, he's really hooking you up, and it's cheaper than you paying a university and going through that whole thing. And it's not an easy thing either for an African male to say, I'm going to go and put some time into photography, because while you're telling your family, oh, I'm taking these photography classes, they're probably trying to push you somewhere else and say, what about medicine? What about this? What about, that? It's not easy for an immigrant to say, hey, I want to do the arts coming to this land, because people are depending on you, and so I love that you followed your passions and you've made them profitable. And,
and the reason why the reason why my first courses has been photography, because right now I have a lot of different courses. Actually, most of them will be linked under rankadvertiser.com. Rankadvertiser.com is my new website, and there is a lot of cool things that's going to happen there, but I'll link also all of my classes there. The reason why I started with photography is that everybody have a smartphone right now. Even in marketing, smartphone is a big thing. Like, there is over 2.5 billion smartphone across the world that people are interacting every day. And as I was thinking about it, I was like, what if I can empower those people to take better photo? Because one thing that happened on my Instagram is like, people would be like, oh man, how do you take those photos? This is very beautiful. And people will ask me all the time. And that was the reason why I was like, you know what, if there's a lot of people asking about this, I'm going to make the course for them, and it's going to be ready. And yes, that's why I started on Image, to enable people out there to take good photo. Whether you are an entrepreneur or you are a business guy or an artist, we all need to take photos. We need to take photo to share with our friends, our family. It's a medium for us to capture a journey, whether it is a vacation, and making sure that you're taking good photos. It's beautiful. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Mm-hmm.
No, it definitely is. You guys, I'm not going to give you a game overload. We have said a lot for you to go. Start clicking buttons in the description box. Follow Glory. All the information will be in that description box. Glory, I thank you for coming on.
Thank you for inviting me. This has been an amazing conversation. Thank you so much.
Awesome. You guys be blessed.